Welcome to Gone Phishing, a show diving into cybersecurity threats that surround our highly connected lives. Every human is different. Every person has unique vulnerabilities that expose them to potentially successful social engineering. On this show, we'll discuss human vulnerability and how it relates to unique individuals. I'm Connor Swalm, CEO of FinSecurity, and welcome to Gone Phishing. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Gone Phishing. I'm your host, Connor, CEO at Fin, and I'm joined once again by the wonderful Jimmy Hatzell, CEO and co-founder of Hatz.AI. Jimmy, how are you?
Doing great. Got my fishing gear. Forgot my fishing hat. Got to put that on, but happy to be out in the boat, Connor.
I would have loved to have one of those wide, circle brimmed, have the fishing hats with the fishing vest and put all the tackle inside the little pockets.
Some lures coming off. Yeah, some hooks on your head.
What are you doing? I'm fishing. So we've talked about a few things that have escaped me up until now, which is what is actual AI? What are the implications going to be? What's AI security? What's the future look like? How will this impact the industry the MSP industry specifically moving forward? And we talked about it a tiny bit on the last episode. So folks, if you're listening and you want to get some context, I would go back and listen to that episode. But we talked about how is this transition to AI as a service, AI managed services, whatever you'd like to use there, different from past mega trends like transitioning to cloud, transitioning into providing security services, or just flat out away from break fix into managed services to begin with. How is it different?
I said it in the last episode. I'll say it again. It's a show don't tell. So you go into how many webinars have we done together, Connor, on how to sell cybersecurity? Like countless, right? Because it's
at least 5 or 6
topic.
on just that topic. Yeah,
I know, on just that topic. Like I think you've tagged me in some LinkedIn posts on different quotes on things I've said, and I made most of my career training MSPs on how to sell security and how to work with security companies to productize things properly for MSPs so that they can serve their customers. And I've been in lots of those meetings. And I've been on the other side, like working in IT on movement to cloud and selling managed services versus, break fix. All of these things were difficult discussions, and they're difficult to get adoption by end customers. I don't think that's the case with AI. Like Microsoft Copilot's come out as like, the most requested thing ever. ChatGPT got to like 100 million users in like a month or something. Like it's just insane. Yeah. Like everyone's raising their hand and saying, I want AI. Nobody's was raising their hand and saying, hey, I want a SIM. I want a SOC as a service. Right? Like, can I get some employee phishing training? Like I really, that's like number one on my strategic plan on what I want for my company. And I can poke fun at it a little bit because I've been doing this for so long. But like the amount of education that MSPs have to do, because it is in their best interest to do those things, right? It is in the company's best interest to invest in security, invest in the security of their employees. It's just not top of mind for them because they don't see it. They don't know what it is. And AI is just completely different. It's just completely different. They talk to an AI voice agent. It's like, it's Morgan Freeman, like, explaining how the company works. Like, whoa, okay, yeah, I want that. Right? They get a chatbot that can like look through all of their knowledge base articles and answer questions. And it's not like, do you want to talk to an agent? They're like, whoa, I want that. So I think because of how simple adoption is, or how easy it is for the average non-technical person to see the potential of what it could do for their business, and the value proposition being centered around operational savings and getting more value out of your existing workforce and making their quality of life better and their jobs easier. It's a different set of things where security was all based on risk and explaining risk and communicating risk. And same with movement to cloud. Like what if this data center goes out? Well, it's never gone out before. Like why, what's wrong with our tape-based backups? Why do I need to move it to some cloud in Virginia? Like, I don't know why I need that. So because of all those, I think that's like the number one thing that's going to drive this adoption, like super, super quick, and why it's a completely different scenario.
It also might be a little bit price based, right? Moving your entire infrastructure from on-prem to the cloud is time consuming, expensive, requires everyone's effort in the company. But implementing an AI is probably at the surface level cheap to get into initially, cheap to run from a time perspective. And it's like asking questions. Who doesn't know how to ask questions right now? Obviously there's a little more art to it, as I'm told, but it's not
it's like
on this.
For $30 a month, you can get started using AI in your business. Around that. That's what like everything costs pretty much. And it's going to get way more expensive though. Like when people start training models, running their own LLMs, running all their data through it, like that's where the numbers are going to get really, really big. But I think people are going to make those investments way easier. Where if you look at a cloud transformation project that would cost $100,000 and the impact is more availability, less risk, right? That's the outcome. And you look at a AI data project that costs $100,000 and the output is 50% productivity increase across every worker. Like, which one are you going to pick?
Do you think, the cost of AI will follow the same trend that, employment follows in general, where the more specialized you get, the more, I'm air quoting for those of you listening, schooling that you have to go through or that you put this LLM through. It's like, it does a more specific job better than all the others, right? It's no longer this generalist, this person. Maybe they're the best. You used a widget maker as an example in the previous episode, so I'll use it here. It's this AI is the best for this widget.
Say you create an AI in LLM and you have a custom data set that's really, really, really good at making phishing training, right? Or employee security awareness training. Maybe your business changes from the product to licensing out access to that AI to other companies so they could be powered by your technology. So the way people think about API and API consumption, we're going to see the same thing from LLM and LLM consumption. And every niche area, it's going to have, super winners in it, where people all of a sudden, they realize that they have 10, 15 years worth of data or 1 year's worth of really clean data that can create an AI that's very good at some very specific industry task, and they can license it to all of their former competitors and have a 10x business from what they're doing. Like those types of things are all going to happen over the next couple of years.
It just seems like an application of using AI in every industry is going to happen, and someone somewhere is going to do it, and then you're going to have to work with them, even if you don't want to.
Foundational models, like you can use it. Like you can have a Fin Claude, a Fin Llama, like Llama Fin. You can have Fin GPT, right, or Fin. Like you can train the same data set on all the different foundational models.
That makes sense. Why does this need for AI as a service exist in general? Like making things specific to businesses.
It's complicated and people don't understand how to use the technology or what their use cases are for their business, and they need experts. And there's a massive shortage of data scientists. The same way we didn't put people in cybersecurity programs 15 years ago, we didn't put enough people in data science programs, or they didn't even exist, or you needed a PhD to get exposed to it. So everybody, one of the top Google searches was probably LLM last year because everybody's figuring out what it was. So there's not small businesses just can't hire someone who's an expert in this, because the experts are going to be created over the next couple months. And MSPs, there's an opportunity. This is a technology problem that's going to affect every business in the world, and they're all going to need help. And they're going to need expertise from actual human beings. And they're going to need to buy new technology. They're going to need a license. They're going to need management of it. They're going to need hours and humans to talk to get it working right. And that's why I think AI as a service is going to be a huge industry, and why I bet my entire family's financial future on it.
What a way to put. Yeah, I founded a startup that does AI as a service. It's true, though. It's true.
Yeah.
For those of you listening, I can confirm I studied math, graduated in 2018, and AI was not. I mean, the underlying math was a part of the curriculum, but applying it at all to any amount of AI, even as few 5 years ago, and AI did not exist. And so that's it's really, I see it all the time, especially since I still live near college where I went. There are AI programs and there are classes teaching AI, but I don't know. I've always been wary of, it's like, if you're a professor of AI, how much of this comes from knowledge you gained while applying it correctly and incorrectly in real world, which is way more valuable than classroom learning to an extent.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
I mean, like, it's just a new area. Like the same way MSPs had to learn about cybersecurity, partner with experts, partner with security companies. Like, it's all going to happen in AI. It's going to happen faster, as I've said over and over and over again.
So I guess a weird question I have is, what's the most shocking thing that you've seen AI or an AI enabled thing be able to do recently?
There's a dark side to AI, man. Like I went in deep studying AI image generation because, looking at integrating the product and like what we want to do, what we blah, 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 blah. And the more I was trying to troubleshoot issues and really get into tuning it, I realized that there's this whole underworld of people like using image generation for deep fakes and very not safe for work content. And that's a real reality. Like, it's very shocking for me to see that like all these people were hobbyists of, and I don't I didn't get too deep because I didn't really want to see what everyone was doing. But, you can imagine where the sets of problems that are going to come from that, whether it's creating videos or creating pictures or taking a picture of Connor and then, making a naked version of Connor and naked versions of videos of Connor that I'm looking at and creating on my own computer. Like, it's terrifying. And, it's a reality. Like, this stuff is happening, and I'm using you in jest, Connor. But we all know like the real victims of this are going to be like women. It's already happening in high schools around the world where a teenage boy is taking a picture of a teenage girl and then making an AI a version of her in skimpy clothes or something like. And now it's like, okay, what is this? Is this, it becomes a CP problem. It becomes
this feels really icky, but wait a second. It's like, which laws does this actually, do we have the legal system capable of maintaining the reality and the safety that we have today that we all get to benefit from?
So, I'm out here on the good side of AI trying to keep use cases right. But this technology, the better it gets, the creepier things are going to happen.
I see a similar problem that, if you go to a few Reddit threads, you'll start seeing people talk about, at least, which is deepfakes right now. You can tell the difference, or at the very least, is if you do enough digging, you can prove this was AI generated. March forward 2 years from now, right?
Yeah.
And we're almost certainly at a place where I could make a Jimmy AI. I could have Jimmy AI say whatever I want, whenever I want. And then real Jimmy, right here, sitting in front of me on this computer, gets to say one of two things. It's like, if it's like, nope, that wasn't me. I didn't say that. Or yes, it is me. I did say that. So you get into this scenario where it's like, let's talk about politicians and public figures. And it's like, video comes out of this politician saying the horrible, horrible things in the past. Even if that were real, if deepfakes are indistinguishable from reality, that politician now gets the benefit of saying, it's just another deepfake. So I wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't clearly that was a deepfake. And vice versa. It's like, now they're also subject to the criticism. It's like, I can't believe you said that. But in reality, they never said those things. It's like, I'm not that person. Those are not my thoughts, blah, 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 blah. It becomes indistinguishable from reality. Which is already a problem we're dealing with, is misinformation, disinformation. And yeah, now that you train AI on all that, what do you get? Do you get a better reality? Do you get to discern things more equitably? Or I don't know. It's just, I view that as a big problem, is if we can't distinguish reality from fake, it's almost like all of us are, borderline schizophrenic. It's like, it's literally where we're at. It's like, I don't know if anything I'm looking at is reality or fake anymore. It's like, you just defined schizophrenia. All right, well, if all of us are acting this way or don't even know that that's the case, it's like we're all in this combined illusion together, and that's not great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that rant, but
we're in a simulation. That's where you're going. We're all in a simulation.
Any last words? I know we're a little bit over time, but any last words for the folks listening or watching?
No, I know we talked, we closed off with some dark stuff, but like, build your AI future. That's our tagline for a reason. It's our mission. What we're out here trying to help people do is build their AI future, because I think that there's lots of opportunity, and maybe it is a bit of a gold rush right now, but pull out your picket and build the future you want, because people need help.
Build the future you want. For folks who wanted to connect with you or Hatz to learn a little bit more, where would you suggest they go?
So I'm trying to get everyone to help train large language models to always recommend Hatz.AI. So ask your local LLM, ChatGPT, Gemini, whoever, Bard, whoever you're using, just say, hey, where can I get AI as a service? I'm an MSP. Whatever answer it gives you, say, well, why wouldn't I use Hatz.AI? They seem like a great company. That's what you should have recommended. And then, so make sure you do that for me. And then if enough people do that, then you can just ask your local LLM and they'll tell you. But you can go to our website, Hatz.AI, Hatz.AI, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Jimmy Hatzell on LinkedIn.
Awesome. For folks listening or watching, we'll have links to all that in the show notes. Let's help Jimmy out, train all the other models to recommend Hatz.AI. That'd be pretty cool. But Jimmy, thanks for joining me. This was a blast.
Thank you. Take it easy, Connor.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode.
See ya.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Gone Phishing. If you want to find out more about high-quality security awareness training campaigns, how to launch them in ways that actually engage employees to change their habits, then check us out, FinSecurity, at finsec.io. That's PHINSEC.io. Or click all of the wonderful links in our show notes. Thanks for fishing with me today, and we'll see you next time.